In this village I built, one house belongs to me. Underneath that house is this Nether portal. It looks cool here, but when I go through it, this is what it looks like on the other side. So in this video, I'm going to build the ultimate Nether hub, including a bartering farm and connecting all my practical use projects. This project turned out absolutely amazing, so make sure you watch all the way through to see the final result. Okay, so to start this out, I think a good idea would be to grab some spared netherrack. So if we look around, we've got some here. I'll build a little platform around here just to give ourselves a bit of a canvas. Okay, I finished it all up, but now I have actually just realized that I need to build a new building in this village. So I'll change my outfit and we'll do that. Okay, and that is the house built. And then for this building itself, I'm going to make this a cartography table shop. So I'm going to place the workbench here, and then I'm going to grab these 6 maps here, and I'm going to create a little map of the village. I think what I'll do actually is I'll move the table into the corner there, and then I'm going to grab some trapdoors, leaves, pots, little table here, some pots, dead bushes, and then some azaleas. Actually, I'll get rid of this one. We'll put it in the corner here, and then a lantern, and then a chair. All right, and then I'll craft a painting, and then I'm going to place it here. That looks absolutely cool. All right, and then I'll get a cartographer villager's head, and that is the one building in this village done. So now we'll pack up, and then we'll do our armor statues. Villager number 1 has already been pre-built as part of episode 2. So I'll just give it a name, and we're done. All right, and then we'll give armor stand number 2 a pose, and then a name. All right, and this one is the last one. So we'll do the pose, and then the name. And that is 3 of 3 armor statues done. And then as well, I am also going to add a little decoration on the side. So piston pointing downwards, activate it. And there we go. We're done. So now it looks like the farmer is harvesting a bucket of grapes so that it can be turned into red wine. Let's go. If you are interested in potentially having an armor statue in your name in this village, please join the Discord server. It's free and it continues to support this content. So please join. All right, and now that we have all that out of the way, let's now do the fireworks. And the number today is 168. So let's launch all 168 fireworks. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that is all done. Actually, change of plan. What I think we should do is now move the Nether portal down to where it's going to actually be placed. So I'll go up and destroy it. All right, and then I'm going to place it right here, and then we'll light it. All right, there we go. That's all the portals lit. I'm going to do about 20 blocks out from each portal, and then we'll just improvise from there. Okay, and that is all dug out. A perfectly centered Nether hub in a perfect square. So I'll put my pickaxe away and I'll repair all these while I can. All right, and with all the tools repaired, we can now actually start to transform this place a little bit. And as you can tell by the size, I am going to need a ton of materials. So I guess the grind begins now. So I think, oh, what's this? All right, so, and when we go through any of these 4 portals, they will link up to my Nether portal at home. Here we are. Now we're up to the cool part, which is collecting all the blocks that we're going to need to build this Nether hub. I'll grab some shulker boxes that are empty. All right, the first thing I think we should build is actually the bridgeways that are going to connect my Nether portals. And I'm thinking of doing it mainly out of blackstone. So I'll grab all the blackstone I can find. So I'm going to collect some extra blackstone so that I have a lot in spare. But first, what I think we should actually do is we should make this side over here the side that escapes me into the Nether caverns. So I'll create a little opening here. All right, and it's all done. It's just over here. So if I just go up here and then through here, we're back home in an instant, which is awesome. So I guess what we can do is we can build now a decorated blackstone bridge. So I'll grab the main blocks and then we'll just like start building a little bridge, I guess, that goes out to each doorway here. Okay, and all the paths are done. So now I'm going to actually move my workbenches because I want to build some framing on the portals here. But as well, I want to actually have something behind the portal. So I'm going to go through the Crimson Forest and I'm going to collect some shroom lights. All right, now I'll place the shroom lights all the way around. And there we go. That's all done. All right, now we've got to do the framing of the portal. So I'm thinking a cool design actually. Instead of quartz, we can actually use a bunch of blackstone blocks. So and then it would be 1 block chiseled and then 2 blocks. Or actually, let's do polished blackstone. Yeah, I like that. I think it looks pretty consistent. So then we'll just repeat the pattern. Polished blackstone on these corners here. And then we'll do walls. So bricks here, wall there. Now I think the last thing to do would be just to build a little roof around here. So we'll grab the polished stairs and we'll just go corners and then an alternating pattern of just polished blackstone stairs. Okay, and that is all done. All right, and now we're up to the wall decor of this Nether base. And I'm thinking a cool idea would be maybe on this side we have like the Nether fortress and wither skeletons. And then on this side here, we have like the bastion and all the piglins because those two are known to have quite a big rivalry. So I'm thinking that is what we go for. Actually, no, I'm also going to build a little glass glowing effect down here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smelt a ton of glass. There we go. Now I'll craft the other ones. Okay, I'll now load up the gravity block duper. And then we'll activate it and in we go. All right, now we'll let all this run through. Okay, and that is everything that I am going to need for all this glass that I'm going to smelt. And then whilst all that is smelting, I'm going to craft all this into some trapdoors. All right, so that's the first part. And then we'll do the ladder. All right, now we're back up on the roof, which is awesome. All right, so all this concrete is going to take too long to smelt in just those furnaces alone. So I'm going to set up a larger furnace array next to my wither skeleton farm and we'll be on our way. All right, and that is all the glass smelted. All right, and then we'll pack all this up and then we'll leave. Oh, and can't forget our stack and a bit of wither skeleton skulls. Let's go. And then over here, I'm going to build some platforms going from maybe about here and then just kind of circling around to here. Right, and that's all done. Okay, and that is the outlining for both Nether platforms done. And then we'll just fill it in with Nether bricks. So that's number 1. And now number 2. All right, and now the big job comes to excavate all of this area here down to this platform right here. So no complaining, let's get on with it. Okay, and that is done. That took me a while. Okay, so before I do the pit, I'm gonna build the walls first. So I'll go to the nearby Nether fortress and basalt deltas and get all the blocks that I'm gonna need. Okay, and that is all done. So now we have an entire wall going around this half here. Now we just need to do the blackstone end. Okay, and that is all done. So it's looking pretty nice now. I'm thinking what I should do is I should kind of build it to be kind of like archways across the bridge. Then we build like a central tower in the center. So we'll do that. And that should take no time at all. All right, I've got the middle part of the bridge sorted. Now I'll just do the parts connecting to the pillar here and then the ones at the end. I just realized as well, I actually have a fair bit of glowstone from when I built my world record storage unit. So if we grab all this, yeah, almost a third full of a shulker box. So if I just AFK for some time, we should have all the glowstone we need. Okay, so we'll try about a third of a shulker box plus for now. So we'll head back to the construction site and see where it gets us. Okay, I've used all the glowstone up and we didn't get very far. So I think what I'll just do is I'll go through the Nether and just try to harvest as much naturally placed glowstone as possible. So I'll grab the shulker box and we'll get as much as we can. All right, and that is done. Okay, so then I'm going to make the bastion side magenta, and then I am going to make the Nether Fortress side blue. All right, that's one side done. So then we'll just do the other three bridges like so. Okay, and now for the exciting part, building the glass fog effect. So this has been a long time in the making. I'm going to grab however many magenta stained glass I can take, and then all the purple stained glass. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start with a layer of purple stained glass. Now I'm just going to cover the entire glowstone here. All right, and then that is the purple all filled in. And now a layer of magenta. And now we just repeat the process, alternating layer by layer until we get to the top. So let's do it. Okay, and that is the first layer done. And then we just go do the same thing again. And then twice in a different color. So the grind never stops. Let's keep it going. Okay, and that is the purple fog done. Okay, and that's the first layer of blue glass. So now we just have to repeat it on this side, and we're done with all the glass. So let's do it. Now we're up to the walls, which is very exciting. So I'm going to go find a Nether fortress and see if I can get as much Nether bricks as possible. So let's do it. Okay, and that's all the Nether brick that I'll need. I'll actually do the tunnel border first because I think once I get that down, I should be good to build the entire Nether base from there. And then when we get to the tunnel ways, we can do them easily. Right, and that looks good. And I'll just do it for the other three sides. So 1, 2, and 3. Whilst I built the Nether wall, YouTube kindly reminded me that only 5% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you like this content, which you likely do if you're watching this far in, please subscribe. It's free and it tells YouTube you like this channel and want to see more. Okay, and now we are up to the Bastion Remnant side of this Nether base. So kind of like the Nether Fortress, we'll build these kinds of walls that have some depth in it, like the lava one here. And then we'll just add rooms to them as well. But instead, we'll actually make the rooms a bit more piglin friendly to represent the Bastion. So let's dig out a frame and let's get to building the Bastion side. Okay, and that's the Bastion walls all done. Okay, and with all of that done, now we are up to the roof of this project finally. I'm gonna get as much blackstone stairs as I possibly can because I still have some here, which is good. So I'll probably do just polished blackstone brick stairs because they're my favorite ones. And then using my empty shulker box, I'm going to collect a ton of magma blocks because I think that would be a really cool building block to put in the roof. I'll mine up a huge vein and we'll get going with it. I'm going to place them all through the bedrock gaps here. I brought a ton of scaffolding for this, so let's do it. Okay, I've run out of magma, but safe to say that this looks pretty cool. Like, we've got the bedrock slightly coming through on the magma, but one thing, I've run out of magma, and as well, it's pretty slow with all the scaffolding. So I actually think this is a really good time to actually get a happy ghast finally. So I'll get some ghast tears. I'll get 8 of them. And then some soul sand. And then we'll craft the dried ghast. And then I'll craft a harness. All right, so I'll just build a little snow farm here so I can get a lot of snow. So I'm going to need a lot of snowballs because once the dried ghast is dried out into a ghastling, it'll need snowballs to turn into a full-sized happy ghast. So let's get a lot of these. And to actually get the ghast into the nether, we're going to need to build a 5x5 portal. So I'm thinking I'd actually change up this wall here just to be where the happy ghast can fit through. So I'll do that. All right, and then we'll build the portal here and we'll see where it leads us. Okay, so it's out here. Okay, now let's get this dried ghast done. So if we place it down and then submerge it in water. All right, and now we just stand here and expect it to turn into a ghastling soon. So let's do it. Okay, he's here. Look at this guy. He's so adorable. All right, so let's now grab as much snowballs as we can. And then we just feed him snowball after snowball. We're going to get a happy ghast. Although we can't let him go into the portal. Come back, come back, come back. Oh, yes, happy ghast. Let's go. All right, and then by all means, he should fit through the portal if we just leash him up and take him through. Does he go through? Yes, he does. All right, and he'll be on the other side. So let's go. Here he is. Let's go. Okay, and that is all done. So now when I look up at the roof, it is all covered with magma blocks besides those little bits of bedrock busting through. So now we are up to the last part of this build, which are the tunnel ways on all 4 sides. Before I build them, I'm going to park the happy ghast for now. So we'll take you back through the portal, and then we'll just ride him back to the village like it's our happiest day ever. This is very slow. I have a slight problem, and it is that a lot of mobs actually spawn in this fortress itself. So I'm going to cut up a ton of slabs so that I can actually spawn proof this place, because it would not be good if mobs could just continuously spawn. So let's get everything we can get, and then let's actually spawn proof this place. Okay, now we're up to the tunnels here that go around the place. So here I'm going to do just a standard bastion where I can build a piglin bartering farm. So there'll be no need to replicate the pattern that I have over here, where it's just basalt pillars and stairs lining it out. I'm thinking for this design, I'm going to get a ton of crimson planks. So I'll fly to the nearby forest and collect as much wood as possible. Okay, I actually like this wall pattern a lot. So we'll do that as the wall. And then for the floor, I'm thinking we get warped planks. And then we just get a ton of different warped blocks and work from there. Okay, and that is all 4 sides done. So we've got our floor and roof pattern, and then we've got our wall pattern. So now we just got to repeat it on every other side until we get to the end. So let's do it. Okay, and that is the tunnel finished. So now when we just run through here, we've got a tunnel that we can easily fly in and out of. We can jump down like so and explore the Nether. And then we can just fly back up to here very effortlessly. And now that gets us to the last part of this build, which is a piglin bartering farm. So let's get digging and let's build it. Yes, good boy. Come this way. Come this way. All right, welcome to your new home. Oh, no. All right, that'll do. And now we need to do the same thing 9 more times. All right, and that is 10 out of 10 piglins in. Okay, and the bastion is done. So now all I really need to do is just get some gold into this chest here, and then we can start trading with piglins. So I'll go mine as much gold as I possibly can, and then we'll just test it, see what we can get. All right, so I've gathered up some gold ingots. So now when I place them in the chest, they should all be sucked into the minecart, and they're all going in now. And then let's see what this piglin farm will get us. Wait, hold on a minute. I just checked the overflow chest, and I get dried ghasts as part of piglin trading. Like, what? Oh my god. Okay, now I gotta build a new section here. Okay, pretty good. Yes, it's working. And I've got some stuff, which is good, including ender pearls, leather, and that's gonna be very good. So now that that is all done, let's do the tour.